Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another Bannerlord video. It's been a while, but I thought it's time to come back. It's time to make the original tutorials that I used to make with a full script. Everything I say in this video, all links stated will be down below in the description. You can read along, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So the video topic today is the best start for Bannerlord. So I have played Bannerlord for a long time, since the game has launched. I've had many playthroughs throughout a lot of the patches, and now we're currently on the 1.7 patch, and it's looking like it's going to be, a couple more patches in the game, but what I think, this patch is very significant, and a lot of changes that will happen after this patch will change certain things maybe in this tutorial, but overall it should still stay, pretty similar. So let's do it. This will not be a step 1 through 20 video. I'm not going to go step 1, step 2, step 3. It's going to be more of a video where we cover the main points from the start of the game and things to look out for and things to try to achieve in the beginning to have a good mid and late game. So let's begin. So first, your first choice when you start a new game is to choose your culture. There are 6 choices. So here's pretty much the breakdown. I kind of just put it into like simple words. I'm not going to go too far into the explanation of the percentages. They're going to be on the screen, but I just want to just say it in plain English, right? So the Valanians, they get more gold and renown for specific actions. Some villagers have better production, but they have weak armies due to influence cost. Next, the Sturgians, they recruit and upgrade infantry at a lower cost. Longer time for armies, but kingdom decisions have relationship losses. The Empire garrisons cost less in wage. Being in armies gives you more influence, but slower village growth. The Azrai have cheaper caravans and trade discounts. No desert speed penalty, but it's more wages that need to be paid for troops. The Khazaits, they recruit and upgrade mounted troops at a lower cost, same as the Sturgians, except they are mounted troops and Sturgians are infantry. Livestock is produced faster, but less tax income from towns. And Battanians, they're better in forests in speed and visibility. Towns produce more militia, but town projects are slow to build. So my top 3 are in this order. Khazaits, Sturgians, Battanians. So here's pretty much why that is. So the Khazaits, they are still the strongest, unfortunately. I know a lot of people still don't like that, but that is just facts. Even though they don't have a speed boost that is directly correlated with their cultural bonus as they used to, they still do have one because most of their troops consist of mounted units. Mounted units go faster on the map and also on the battle scene. So therefore, they are still the fastest, and speed is a very big thing in this game. Their livestock being produced faster is very good. It helps them actually fuel more mounted troops, and livestock can be used obviously for food, for trading, which will improve a lot of things for them. And the last tax income that they have from towns doesn't really matter. You don't really notice the 20% change or the 20% deduction from taxes, since towns already have a pretty good amount. And obviously, if you own some castles, it doesn't apply to castles, so therefore it's not the worst one out of this list. The Sturgians are a close second. They have a very similar thing to the Khazaits with infantry troops. Infantry troops are very strong, and it's good that they have a lower cost for them. The longer time for armies is actually, again, very good thing. Armies are a big thing, especially late game. So another very strong thing, positive that they have. And the kingdom decisions having a bigger relationship loss, it's not the biggest thing. Maybe it will be in future patches when kingdom decisions are a little bit more influential. They still are, but it's not the biggest loss out of everyone in the group. And then for the Battanians being third, they are third not only because of their perks, but also because of their unit compositions. They do have the best archers in the game, and archers are very, very powerful, right behind mounted troops that the Khazaits have. That's why they're number 1. That pretty much being faster in forests and also being able to see more in forests, also very good. Forests are all over the map, unlike the Azerite bonus of the desert speed penalty, which the desert isn't all over the map. It's only at the southern region of the map. Towns being able to produce more militia, I think is very, very good. It actually gives the towns, a very good start when it comes to protecting themselves. And obviously their towns are very, very close together. So again, it makes it very easy to defend towns and actually keep, pretty much all the Battanian towns under Battanian control. The town products being a little bit slower to build, again, not the biggest or worst downside to all these on the list. But if you do want the most powerful start, in my opinion, I would choose the Khazaits. They are number one. Like I said, their bonus helps you get the best units in the game for a cheaper cost. You get more horses, obviously because of their second bonus, and the downfall is not that bad. You barely notice it. So yeah, pick Khazaits if you want the best starts. Now you're going to choose your appearance. Again, it doesn't have any effect on your gameplay, so choose whatever. Now onto backstory, and this is where you will build your skills up. So these are pretty much, they vary based on your playstyle. Either way you go, they have a lot of bonuses and a lot of, I want to say negatives, but there's ups and downs. If you go towards one heavily and pretty much lack the other ones as much. But here's pretty much a general rule. If you wish to be a better leader late game, I would choose cunning, social, and intelligent bonuses, the bottom three. If you pretty much want to be a great fighter, someone who leads, who does a lot better in battles, you can choose vigor, control, and endurance bonuses. They're the top three. You can also, improve your character as you level throughout the game. So if you think you've made a wrong decision, you don't have to restart the game. As you level, you will have plenty of chances to build up other skills that you might not have been able to build up in the beginning. So do not worry too much about that. You will have plenty of opportunities to do that as you go up. And obviously you will have different companions that you could also level up as you progress through the game. And then obviously your main character will die, and then you can choose another your heir, and there's just a lot of stuff that you can play around with there. But yeah, so don't worry about it too much. One thing I do suggest that you do choose during this process is on choice 4. So once you go through 3, the 4th choice, there will be an option called road with the scouts, or ride with the scouts. It's one or the other. I think it might be ride with the scouts, but either road with the scouts or ride with the scouts. This is very important because this will give you a bow and a horse at the start of the game, regardless of whatever decisions you choose before this one. If you choose road with the scouts or ride with the scouts, it will give you a bow and a horse to start, which again will give you advantages to your speed and your attack range. Very, very important. Now, you can choose how difficult the game will be. Again, choose whatever you prefer, whatever makes it fun for you. You don't have to choose the hardest thing. It doesn't matter. Again, whatever you think you will have the most fun with, that's the whole point of the game. I would suggest, and I would actually kind of, make it, I think that even better than suggest, please do it. Choose Enable Birth and Death, because again, it's way more fun to play that way. If you don't choose it, there's going to be a lot of invincible characters, and it's not going to progress in that same way that it won't be as immersive in my opinion. So choose Birth and Death and start the game. Now, once in game, if this is your first time ever touching a Mount and Blade game, or you haven't played one for a very long time and you just got into Bannerlord, I would suggest do this tutorial. It's going to teach you how to handle pretty much all the weapons in the game. It's an important and big part pretty much in the beginning of the game, and combat is very significant throughout the game. You'll also learn some basic features like how to recruit, buy food, and you're going to do a couple of battles and also a hideout clear. Once the tutorial is done, however, all loot and units that you got will disappear, and you will start the same way as if you did not do the tutorial. So pretty much this is just a learning experience. Now, once you leave the training grounds or finish the tutorial, Make your family name and your banner. Both don't really affect gameplay, so do whatever you like. Now let's get into gameplay. All right, now we're going to get into the meat and bones of this, okay? So first, when you get out of the training grounds, go to Poros. That is the town all the way in the south. It's very close. Don't try to engage in anything. You should be able to outrun pretty much anything in the game since you barely have anything on you. You're just one person and you're on a horse. So outrun everything, get into the town, and sell off your civilian gear. Your civilian gear, once you get into the trade menu, you're going to see that right above your character, there's two icons, and one is going to be your combat gear that's chosen automatically, is what you see right away. But to the right of it, if you choose that little icon, you will see what's it called? Your civilian gear. Your civilian gear is used whenever you walk in towns and stuff like that, which is not useful right now. If you do sell it right now, you're going to get about 500 gold, which pretty much is 50% of what you start off with. So it's a very good thing to have in the beginning. Now you want to buy 2 of the lowest cost food in the game. This can change from patch to patch. So whatever it is, buy 2 of it. This will help you survive a lot more days as one person. Buy a sumpter horse or a mule. This will increase your inventory space, and head to the arena. Now, once you're in the arena, ask the tournament master about the arena, and then participate in a practice fight once you're done asking him about it. These are free, and you can win up to 250 gold, if you actually win the whole thing. Plus, you will get experience for whatever weapon you spawn with and pick up in the arena. Now, in this practice fight, you will spawn with 30 enemies, not all at once. They do spawn in waves. As some die, more will spawn in. It is a free-for-all, so they will not all target you, so you can use that to your advantage. You just have to be the last one surviving. You don't have to actually, kill all 30 of them. Remember that. So you don't have to actually be, you just have to be the last guy there. And pretty much what I would suggest you do, and I think this is, again, going to help you with your combat skills, play this until you are the last one. Until you win one, play this. Keep playing it. It might be hard for newer players. It might be hard depending on what you chose as your difficulty level. But play it until you win. This will increase your combat skills. You do get partial gold, gold, regardless if you finish last or not. So you will keep gaining a little bit of gold, and then obviously once you win, you will get 250, which is very, very good, especially right now where you just started the game. But yeah, do this. Even if you fail a couple times, don't worry about it. Just keep trying. Now, once you win, go back and buy a better horse before you leave the town. We got the Sturgian Trotter, the Midlands Palfrey, and a Desert Horse. They're all good choices. I would choose the Desert Horse. It is the most expensive, but it should pretty much the gold that you just received from your practice fight that you won, it should cover the cost of the Desert Horse, so don't even worry about it. Now, buy a cheap shield real quick. Equip it right under where your weapon is, where your one-handed weapon is. It should go bow, arrow, your one-handed weapon, and then that's where you put your shield in the 4th slot. Buy a cheap one. 100, 200 gold should be enough. Either keep your one-handed or get a polearm. I would suggest getting a polearm because it will give you a distance between your enemy when you're on the horse, and you can kind of charge better with it and get a lot better charge damage than with a shorter sword, which will be kind of hard to hit the enemies, and you will be closer to the enemy, which will make it so they can hit you more. So if you choose to do the polearm, all you have to do is sell the sword, which will give you another about 300 gold, and then put the polearm in its place. And that should pretty much cover all the costs, and you should still have, I would say, about 1,500 left around there. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how the game economy is. Now it's time to go find a fight. So you have all your gear. Let's go for it. So go towards, what I would suggest is go towards the Battanian region. It's the Battanian area. It's like where all their towns are in a circle around that little lake. So I suggest to go up there because there are a lot of towns and a lot of villages all clumped up very close together, and it's very good for questing, which we're going to be doing once we get there. So what's it called? Once you are going in that direction, though, you can pick fights with small group of looters. Please only go for looters. Going against sea raiders and other types of bandits will be kind of hard at the beginning due to your lack of gear and lack of troops, and you can get captured pretty easily. So I would suggest sticking to small groups of looters, 1 to 4, 4 being the max. I would even say 3 if you are just beginning. Pretty much all you're going to do is you're going to move and shoot. Once you run out of arrows, use your weapon to charge and attack the enemy, run away, attack the enemy until they are all eliminated. Loot everything, sell in nearby towns as you continue towards the Battanian region. Keep the food that you might get from them, and do not take prisoners right now since it will slow you down and you can get captured easily. Now, also, as you pass towns, I would suggest going to the arena and seeing if there's any tournaments available. Go to the tournament master, and you can ask him if any other towns have tournaments available if there is not a tournament in the current town that you are in. If the town that he mentions is close, go and enter that tournament. Try to win, and pretty much if you do win, you get a good piece of gear and you get good renown. You still get it's free to join, and you will also get your weapon experience as you do it. Again, helping you get better at combat is always a good thing. Alright, now once you are close to the Battanian region or area, whatever you want to call it, it's time to start questing. So what you want to do is go to every village and town and look for the blue exclamation point near their name. It's to the right of their name. This means that there is 1 or more quests available in that town. So what I would suggest is you look out for 4 quests, especially in the beginning. You can obviously do other quests. You can try them out. Some quests will require you to have a group of men. So what I would suggest is stick to these 4 that I mentioned, right? So first one is called Train Troops for Insert Name, whatever the quest giver's name is. Second one is Insert Name, whatever the quest giver's name is. Needs help with brigands. The third one is Landowner needs manual laborers. And the fourth one is Gang needs recruits. So these 4 quests work perfectly together, in my opinion, and will help you gain a lot of gold, troop experience, character levels, and pretty much everything else there is in the game. So let me explain what each one is, right? I'm also going to leave a link down below in the description, me pretty much playing out every single quest, and you're also going to see it as I'm talking about them. So first, Train Troops for Insert Name. So this quest will give you 5 recruits. They might change it later on where they give you a little bit more depending on how big you are, but currently it is 5 recruits. They need to be leveled up once each. Once all of them are leveled up through combat or through passive leveling. Usually in the beginning, combat is your way to go, but as you go later in the game, you'll get perks which you can pretty much make it so it's very easy to level up low level troops. But for now, we're going to stick with combat. And once they are all leveled up, they can be sent automatically to the quest giver. You don't actually have to go back to that town. They will just go back there and automatically you will receive your payment. You will get paid for how much survive, and you'll pretty much fail if all of them die. But if all 5 are leveled up, you will net about 2,400 gold or 2,400 gold on average. Next, we have the landowner needs manual laborers. This quest will let you turn in your bandits and looter prisoners for gold. The quest giver will give you a number they want, but you can bring them way more than they need. And the better the bandit, the better the pay. If it is a sea raider and he is let's say tier 3 or tier 4, he is going to be worth significantly more than a looter, which is a tier 1, very easy person to beat in battle. In my calculations, about a good 20 bandits consisting of let's say 10 looters, some tier 2, some tier 3 bandits can net you about 2,000 to 3,000 gold and even more and beyond. For these, I would suggest trying your best to not give as much looters, but try to find better bandits. But obviously, if you're just starting out and this is the first quest you find, stick to looters because you obviously do not want to get captured. So stick to what you can. take risks, of course, but be a little bit smart about it. Next, we have his gang needs recruits. So this is very similar to the manual labor quest, except you need to recruit the prisoners first, then hand them off. Again, you can do more than the quest giver needs. You can give them a lot more. The payout is similar, but you do incur a morale penalty, but it is not as bad early game if you are winning a lot of battles. Also, a thing I did want to mention is both these quests, the landowner needs manual laborers and the gang needs recruits. Both these quests are considered kind of like, not morally right quests in the game. So therefore, some of the other quest givers in that town will approach you. They might approach you and say, hey, I don't like that you're doing business with this person. Either quit doing business with them or we're not going to like you. Usually what I would suggest is just tell him to pretty much, just whatever, man, mind your business. You're going to incur some reputation loss with some of these guys, but in the long scheme of things, it's better to get this gold right now, incur the reputation loss, and then build it up later. It's much easier to build it up, and it's not that bad. It's like -3 or -6 reputation, which again isn't the biggest deal compared to the gold that you are getting. So don't worry about that too much. And then the last one we have is that insert name needs help with brigands. So this quest will actually pretty much bring it all together. This will help with your manual labor quest and also your gang needs recruit quest. So make it super easy to complete these. And that's why I say focus on these 4, because the trained troops one will give you troops, extra troops that you can use, and obviously if they survive, you will get gold for it. The landowner needs manual laborers and the gang needs recruits. Again, you can use those prisoners and you can make some good money off them. And now this last one, the insert name needs help with the brigands. This quest will ask you to get rid of a couple of bandit parties roaming around said village or town that you got the quest from. This will trigger the game to spawn a huge amount of bandit parties in that area. This will be looters and whatever general bandit there is. If there's a lot of mountains, you're going to see mountain bandits. If there's a lot of water, you're going to see sea raiders. If there's a lot of forest, you're going to see forest bandits, and so on. But the good thing about these, for this current patch and how it's been since the start of the game, I don't know if they're going to change this or not. These bandit parties do not chase you, so you get to choose and whichever one you want to actually fight. So don't worry if you see a huge bandit party and they are part of that quest. And one thing, to figure out if they are part of that quest and not just a random bandit, like a regular bandit party, they will have an exclamation point next to their name, so you can kind of see, or next to their player icon, so you can kind of see that, hey, these guys are part of the quest, so they won't chase you. But pretty much, you fight them. You get rid of, I think it's 2 or 3 of the parties, depending on how many parties he wants you to actually get rid of. You don't have to get rid of all of them, because a lot do spawn. You just need to get rid of how much he wants you to get rid of, whoever the quest giver is. And with this quest, obviously, once you get rid of the parties, you can grab them as prisoners, and then you can turn them into either, the landowner needs manual laborers quest, or the gang needs recruit quest. The payout for this quest is low, unfortunately, but again, it gives you a huge advantage to the other quests that I have mentioned. Now, as you're doing quests, just remember, go to villages and towns and recruit troops, participate in more arenas, make sure your troop wage, on average, I would say, is about 10% or less of your total stash that you have. Make sure to always buy food if needed. Do not forget to sell items once you get them. Don't become over encumbered. Buy more mules and horses for more inventory space. Upgrade troops. And that's pretty much it for the beginning of the game. This should be your first couple of hours if you continue doing the questing part. And it should give you a good stepping stone into the other stuff that you can do in the game. Now, just quickly talking about some things to look forward to and make goals on pretty much doing as the game progresses. You can get, these are just a couple things, it's not everything, but it's a couple things. You can get married, you go look how to do that up, or you could figure that out through playing the game. You can join as a mercenary or a vassal for any of the kingdoms. You can do other quests, obviously. There's bigger quests as you progress more. You could try trading, smithing, you can get a caravan, you can get a workshop, and there's a lot much more things that you can do. But most importantly, just enjoy the game, man. Enjoy the game, take it at your pace, go fast if you want to go. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for me. I'm gonna leave links down below in the description to a lot of tutorials that I have made in the past, and I'm gonna make a lot more. Yeah, I started playing the game again, loving it, and like always, guys, stay safe.